No, 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 as the Emperor would say in The Rise of Skywalker. Like, I gotta talk about Messiah, and this is a horrible show. I just gotta say. So welcome back to the show. It's Allan Atlas, your guide to movies and TV shows. Today, and I sprinkle in some geography. Today, I'm going to talk about the Netflix I almost said documentary. I don't know why. It's not a documentary. Why am I laughing? I don't even know. Anyway, Messiah. It's a 10 episode season 1, if you will, on Netflix. And this movie, I could only make it through one episode, and I can't recommend this one. I'm Christian, and I thought, well, this is interesting. It's obviously going to be like an Antichrist kind of thing or whatever. He's not going to be really Jesus, So I was like, I'll watch it, see what all the hoopla is about it. And it is directed by James McTeigue for 6 episodes, and then 4 episodes that are by Kate Wood. It's produced actually by Mark Burnett and Roma Downey, which I was like, what is going on here? And maybe the show gets better, but I couldn't make it past the first episode. Which Roma Downey, obviously, Touched by an Angel. Mark Burnett does all of the Mark Burnett live reality shows. Anyway, and then the cinematography is by Danny Ruhlmann, which I didn't really know anything else that he did, which I will talk about real quick. The shots of this, I gotta give them peeps. It really looks like the Middle East. It's the first episode starts off in Syria, where this terroristic ISIS equivalent is coming through, and they're about to just destroy Damascus or whatever. And this Messiah figure shows up. He's preaching in Arabic, however you say that, and he's like, "Hey, don't worry, God's gonna defeat the enemies. Don't worry," and all this stuff. And they start to fire, and all of a sudden, this huge, literally biblical-sized dust storm comes through and just destroys the town. And it's going for 30 days or whatever, if I remember. And they retreat, and so he's given credit for defeating this terroristic movement, and so 2,000 people follow him because of it. They go out into the desert, and they're following him, and he's he's going to deliver them or whatever, and they actually end up going to the border of Israel. And there's this cool moment where the border guard is like, "Oh my gosh, there's this crazy guy over there," and then they look and they see all of his followers sitting there starving. And because there are a bunch of followers following the dude and they're starving, it's getting international coverage. The CIA is watching this transpire and keeping tabs on this guy. They then end up imprisoning this guy, and he's being questioned by an Israel dude or whatever. I don't know what his role is. Anyway, he's interrogating this Messiah guy, and they're having this conversation, and this is where a movie started to really creep me out, because the Messiah guy calls himself the Word, called Al-Masih, Al-Masih, or whatever, how you pronounce that, which is Hebrew for the Word, and which is, what Jesus called himself. And then the guy is the interrogator's like, well, you didn't even know what that means, and he starts freaking Hebrew to the guy then. He's like, how did you learn Hebrew? It's I was originally from here. And so he's just trying to figure out who this guy is, and he's like, well, the interrogator asked, what were you doing in Syria? And then the Messiah guy goes, well, I was delivering a message. What message? From whom? He goes, from my father. And he's alluding to God being his father. And then the Messiah guy calls the interrogator by his first name, and the interrogator never told him his name. So it was like, how do you know my name? And then the Messiah guy responds by saying, it's written in my father's book, which was, again, pretty creepy. And then they go about this back and forth, and the Messiah guy talks about how you have anger, and you like your job, you like beating people up, and what about that boy that was in this whatever town, which nobody knew about that. They kept it as he never told, the interrogator never told anybody about whatever happened with this boy, like he beat him up or killed him or whatever. I don't know what happened. They didn't explain that. So he's a little freaked out, like, how did he know that? And then they put him back into his cell, his prison cell, and he's just sitting there like meditating and looking really like raggedy and malnutritioned and stuff. And then at the very end of the episode, he like vanishes into thin air. Like they had the camera on him and then he's gone. They go to look in the prison cell and he's totally not in there. So that's how episode 1 ended. And so you're like, whoa, this guy got some powers. Did he make the dust storm come out of nowhere? And I normally don't shut down shows like this right away, but I really, I don't know, there was something that I just kind of wanted to see. I knew the guy, what turned me off was like the way the Messiah guy is playing the character. I just couldn't find any correlations that that when I think about Jesus, like his character is different. I mean, yeah, he's soft spoken, but very like confident, and he talks about his father and stuff, which I associate with Jesus being like. But then there's one scene when they're out in the desert, and one of like the people following him, who's the higher up followers, if you will, has his like whole like headdress and stuff on. He seems like he's an important person following him. He's like, somehow somebody asks, why aren't there any women here with us? Because it's just men following him. And then the guy goes, blah, women or whatever, because he's, whatever his faith is, like they don't like give any rights or anything, to women or whatever. So he's like blah, balking at it. And then the Messiah guy gets up and he gets kind of mad and like kicks him. The guy stumbles back after he's been kicked, and then the Messiah guy says, why don't you need to go find a woman to take your place here. And then that scholarly religious guy is like, oh, you're the Antichrist, you're the devil or whatever, and he like runs off. So it was just kind of a weird interaction where it's like, whoa, okay, that guy just kicked. And I know Jesus got mad, in the temple, but for this circumstance, that temple made sense why he got mad. But this circumstance was like, it was a little bit different. And I think it's cool how the Messiah guy was like saying how important women are, because women are obviously important. They're amazing. So I agree, but I don't know, something about that interaction and that just totally rubbed me wrong. Like I was like, that was a weird way he cast him out, basically. So anyway, that, and I don't know, I just couldn't deal with this symbolism, and it's kind of an intriguing thought, and I may go back and watch episode 2 or 3 and see if it gets any better or if it makes any sense. But I just had this sensation, like thinking like, it's just going to end and nothing's going to be explained, and a season 2 will happen. I don't know. So for right now, I'm just not going to recommend this show. I think it's not cool. Other than the way that the shots are done and the actual countryside that everything is taking place in. I thought that was cool because you really get to see the Middle East, or what seemingly looks like the Middle East. And so I'm just going to give a thumbs down or a however you spell that to the review on this crazy movie. I just thought it was terrible. Of course, I'm Allan Atlas, so I gotta give you some geographical fact. Did you know that Damascus is actually thought of to be one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities, going back to 11,000 years ago? And that's pretty cool, just saying. So there you go. And then also, would love to have you please subscribe to the videos and press on the subscription over here. Hello. I feel like I'm kind of tickling the subscription button over here, just kind of tickling the subscription video. So make sure you subscribe, because you don't want to miss any of these reviews. help guide you through the world of movies and TV shows, what you should see, what you should not see, and why I think it's important, what's cool about you may not know about cinematographers and producers and directors and stuff. I'm going to be your guide for that. Click the bell to make sure you do the setting where it says all, so you get all of the new videos that come out for sure. And we'll see you on the next video. Really appreciate your support. This is fun doing this. I hope you're having fun. Please comment below if you agree or disagree, if you think this is a cool show for the show Messiah. And check out the end screen. Over here is another cool video coming up right away. See you later. Thank you for watching. I don't know why I'm singing. Okay, bye.